Hello and welcome to another Out with the Old, In with the New video. In this video series, I cover what I made during the course of a month, what I have left over, and what I plan to do with those leftovers, as well as setting up for the next month's worth of scrapping. So, welcome to this video. I hope that you enjoy it. So this video covers the span from October 15th when the Gather kit released until November 18th because last night was the last scrapping that I did with this kit. So I hope you join me as I show you what I've been up to. So this is the tray where I keep all of my completed projects for the month, and so I will just show you each layout. Many of them have process videos. Some of them I just did last night, so there aren't any process videos quite yet. This is the last one that I did last night. It's called Autumn is for Reading. I used the Gather kit, and I haven't narrated or edited this one yet, but it will be on my channel at some point. All 3 pages that I made last night were very quick. I scrapbooked for 3 hours and made 3 layouts, and this one has these 3 strips of pattern paper across the back and then this diagonal cluster of embellishments and splatter, and my title right here. There's no journaling on this one, but I did put a roller date stamp just to fill this little empty space right here. And the photos are small and similar to one another. In this one, she's peeking her eye out, so I just put a little frame around that and added the smile just to direct your attention to it. And so you have this layered bunches of rectangles here. We've got this rectangle, we have some matting in the back of each of these with more frames from Pink Fresh Studio, and then another rectangle here. I added a circle here just to soften it up a little bit and add something slightly unexpected. And then I also put a little house here as well. And then the rest of it is just embellishments on the outside. These 2 layouts here were actually the layouts that I was hoping to scrap and was inspired to scrap at the very, very beginning of the month. I really love how this kit combined a lot of very typical fall papers and embellishments, but then it also had a few of these non-fall themed papers, which I included in the kit because not everybody wants to scrap every single thing about fall just because it's October and November. But I also wanted it to be papers that would work with the fall papers that were already there. So I kind of set about challenging myself, although then I went off on a tangent and didn't do it. But my idea was to challenge myself to work some of these lighter colored papers with the blues and the pinks and incorporate them into autumny kinds of layouts. And so that's what I did here. You can see that because this pattern paper, this is one of the Pink Fresh Studio pattern papers, because these are really nice, warm and creamy greens and pinks, they work really well with the pinks and the greens that are otherwise in the kit. This one also doesn't have a process video yet, but I will be narrating it hopefully today. And this is another example of those Pink Fresh Studio papers that were mostly pinks, but it had this beautiful golden arch in it, which is part of the reason I chose this paper for the kit, is that this golden arch really does bring this otherwise springy paper into a fall color scheme as well. So I just documented Karma is a cat along the edge of one of the curves. I also did my journaling around the edge of one of the curves. And then I basically just layered a frame that I backed with a piece of pattern paper with the fall paper on it. I added another little frame here just to add a little bit of extra interest and something a little bit unexpected, and a little camera there. And then I just matted my photo of Karma and put this little hello on there because it looked cute with the couch fabric. I did add some splatter on this one and splatter on that one as well. This probably took less than an hour to make. Then I have this one, which is the first one I made last night. It features this very large shaker element. I love that. It basically makes use of all of my leftovers from the confetti mix from the Gather kit. And I love using those confetti mixes, and I love having leftovers to draw from in the future, but I couldn't resist just filling this shaker really up so that there could be lots and lots of sparkly, fun goodness in this page. And what I did to make sure that when you hold the layout up like this, that all of this confetti doesn't come down, is I glued some pieces of the confetti to the background piece up here so that even if it all settles, there will still be some pieces that remain up there. As far as design goes, this layout ended up having two fairly large elements, which is the shaker element and my photo. And so I decided to make almost like a twinning kind of a design where I treated each as its separate elements and I just repeated it. I put the photo up here, and I kind of thought for a few minutes about doing it the other way, but I put the photo up here, and I think that it balances nicely with the heaviness that is the shaker card when all of these are down here. So I like that to be lower. And then I just layered two strips of paper. I didn't layer them, I just laid out two strips of patterned paper that bring in a warmth, like a brown. It brings in some of the browns, and I used this paper here, which is actually the back side of this. One of the benefits of having the paper pack add-on is that you get two of everything. So this very beautifully coordinates with my background paper, which is this bluey color. It almost has a purpley tone to it. I did a fair amount of journaling here. This page is about my recent trip to New York, and spending time alone in the city is different than spending time doing touristy things with your family. And so I just had a few words to say about that. And I cut out some trees from one of the patterned papers. I had plenty of doilies left over because 3 doilies came in the kit and I only used a half of one of them. So this is a half and one, and then I have one left over. At the very last minute, I thought it was done, and then I thought it just needs a little something else. And so I decided to add 2 tears and back them with this pattern paper that shows up here as well. It just adds a little bit of interest to the outside edges and frames and pulls your eye into the center. These almost look like arrows that are pointing inwards, one to the photo and one to the journaling. So that was a very fun page to make. It might have been my most fun page in the whole month. Next, we have a whole bunch of cards, and I did a video where I used a technique called the one sheet wonder, and that is a technique that's really commonly used among Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. But there are plenty of YouTube videos out there that show you various takes on the one sheet wonder. It's basically you take one piece of pattern paper. In this case, I chose the one with the houses, and then you just decorate your cards. It tells you exactly how to cut it, and then you can make a bunch of cards with it. These are 6 cards that I made with this one sheet of paper. I did go back and use some of the embellishments from the Take Me Home kit, because Take Me Home had a number of fall-like embellishments on it as well, so I just grabbed from that as well. This bunch of cards was made as part of a new series that I was thinking about doing on my channel, and I'm still probably going to do on my channel. It's just that I filmed it and then the footage got away on me, meaning I then went on and did a whole bunch of other things and didn't ever make it back to editing and putting together this video. But what I want to do is about once a month make a low-key real-time video of cozy crafting. So making something like a bunch of cards or some tags or playing with a new product or something like that that's more in the moment and relaxed and casual. So keep an eye out on my channel. I might still go ahead and edit this if I somehow magically find some time to do it. This month I had the pleasure of hosting a crop at my home with some of my friends. During the crop, I made all of these cards. So my friends Jen and Allie and Steph came over, and it was a full day event, and somehow I only got 6 cards done, but it was fun, and we did some socializing, and I did a lot of coloring. I colored with my Zig Cling Color Real Brush markers. I colored all of these foxes. Some of them are better than others, but I really like using these markers instead of Copics because it's a bit more casual and relaxed. You can get a watercolor effect. I didn't go for the watercolor effect. I just kind of did some shading. This is my standard card. I love to just have a beautiful piece of pattern paper with an oval or a circle with a scallop behind it and then a sentiment on the front. That's my jam. I think that kind of card is super easy to make, and I think it really looks cute. And I did keep all of my offcuts because I thought I might decorate the insides of these. I'll have to do that soon. So this is a layout that I do have a process video on my channel for, so you can check that out if you're interested in seeing how this one came together. This is an inset design using the cut file. So I had to cut it 3 times. I cut it out of the orange, I cut it out of the craft, and I cut it out of the green for all of those pieces so that I could then put it together like a jigsaw. And I left the center open so that this is actually another layer. So this is not inset. This is below the inset design. If you'd like to see how this came together, please check out the process video. It's a very soothing and repetitive task. If you don't like repetitive tasks, this probably isn't a technique for you, but I did really enjoy it. It is time consuming. My process video doesn't show the whole time, but it gives you a sense of just how finicky this kind of a technique is. But I do really like the final product. I just can't decide if I like the final product more than I would like it if I just laid the craft wreath down on either the blue background or the orange background. Like, the benefit that I get here is that I can have a different color in the center of the wreath. Next, we have the first double page layout that I've done in a long time. And I enjoyed making this so much that I'm pretty sure that double pages are going to become a more common thing for me. Here's how they look together. There is a process video for this one. Look, here's the other place. So we got 4 of these freckled fawn wood veneers in the gather kit, and this is the other 2. The first 2 were on the first page that I showed you. And in the process video for this one, I talk about some of the important principles for making a double page layout work. And so be sure to check that out if you like double pages, because it just talks about some principles for that. This would be the first page that I made with the gather kit. It says, "If it fits, I sits." And this one has lots of layers and little critters. And it's a picture of my cat Rocky sitting in a hilarious position. His legs and tail are all falling out because he tries to sleep in the small bed that really is more for his sisters than it is for him. So there is a process video for this one, so be sure to check it out. It's on my channel. So I made 7 layouts and 12 cards this month and 2 Project Life spreads. So I will go get those and share them with you as well. So this is the September pages that I created with the Take Me Home kit. So if we just turn one more page, we have the beginning of what I created with the Gather kit. So I did 2 Project Life spreads with this kit. So the process video for this spread is on my channel. It's not public as of the time that I'm filming this, but it should be public by the time it's posted and ready to go. So check out my channel for the process video about this one. This one was super fun to do. I used the Small But Mighty kit, the fall Small But Mighty kit. So the Small But Mighty kits are designed to bridge the gap between your 12 by 12 scrapbooking and smaller scale scrapbooking, including pocket pages, traveler notebooks, card making, and all of that stuff. I used my Small But Mighty kit and the Gather kit to create this spread. And I have a photo flip here that just allows me to tell a slightly longer story. All of this is fairly detailed in my process video, so I won't go into too much of the detail, but there's a flip there, there's a flip here, there is a flip here as well, and there's a flip here about a board game that we were playing, and there's the card about the crop. I forgot to take pictures when the people were here, but you know, that's the way it goes sometimes. And then I also created this spread. So that was early October and this is late October. So there's a flip here and there's a flip here and a flip here as well. And there's also a flip right here, a half flip. And lots of stamping from my stash, and using that Small But Mighty kit really makes a huge, huge difference in the efficiency of my scrapping. It's keeping me from needing to purchase cards, and I love making my own cards, like with stickers from my kits. It makes me, like, I feel really great about using up my scraps and getting more of a kit into my pages instead of having lots and lots of leftovers. So these are my October pages. I will be using the Small But Mighty kit and the Gather kit for my November spread. I'm hoping that my November spread will be one spread, and then the rest of this book will be December, which might be more involved. So this is my second month using this, which I'm calling my kit caddy. It's a thin rolly plastic. It's not that great quality, like it's a little wobbly, and it's not going to hold anything all that heavy, but I really like having it on hand. What I love about it is that it fits right under my desk like this. The way that I have my room set up is that there's space here to put a second chair if somebody is scrapbooking with me, and so this just fits right under the desk where the chair would be. I don't keep the chair in here, I just bring it in when I have a guest, which isn't all that often. So that allows me to keep this rolly thing. I've had a number of questions about this rolly thing. I'm calling it my kit caddy, and this I got on Temu. I have feelings about shopping on Temu, and I don't do it very often, but I couldn't resist when I saw this, and it doesn't seem to be available anymore. So I went into my Temu history in order to find the link, and the link is still there, but it goes to a completely different product. It looks like it might be the same thing, but it's not at all the same. I can't give you a link to this, but it seems like this kind of a thing is kind of popular now. I think I've seen them on Amazon and on Wayfair as well. These little carts that are designed to go on the ends of a desk, like if you've got a desk with a bit of an overhang and then you just kind of tuck this in. They're designed to make the most of the space that you have. I've been using this to hold my current kit, and I want to walk you through how it's been going because I introduced it in my last Out with the Old, In with the New video. As I use it, it's been evolving how I use it, and it's also been strengthening my sense of how well it works. So I'll just walk you through the tiers. In the bottom tier here, I have non-kit cardstock. These are basically the scraps that don't come from the kit. I often have to go into my stash for cardstock if I have specific needs or for matting purposes, and so rather than put these back in my scraps, I find that the same color family will work for multiple kits, so I just keep it here. I don't want this to become a huge mess with tons and tons of cardstock scraps in it. I just want it to be relevant, so every month on my Out with the Old, In with the New day, I will be going through this. So this is all cardstock from my stash that I might not want to keep for the Joy kit. Definitely white will go with the Joy kit. There was supposed to be white in the cardstock add-on, but we had to, because of the supply issues, we had to not offer a cardstock add-on this time. There we go. Oh, that needs to go with a stamp. So we'll keep the black, we'll keep the white, we'll keep the green, we'll keep the cream. Craft is always good. That's another white. But I'll take these green, these brown, and I will just put them into my stash. Oh, that's a really nice craft too. We'll put them back in the bottom. So the bottom is taken care of. Now the next level up is where I have been keeping my uncut 12 by 12 cardstock, stickers. I keep the cut files in this plastic thing, and also any 12 by 12 sheets of embellishments that I need to reach. So this at the beginning of the month is super full, and by the end of the month it should be mostly empty as it is now. I also keep my Small But Mighty kit in there as well. So we have a sheet of stickers from I Love Fall from Echo Park. There's plenty left, but I think I have to say I did a pretty good job of using a fair amount of them, maybe a little bit less than half, maybe. Not bad, not bad. I have this full piece of paper, beautiful, beautiful plaid. I have this, which I could use in my November pages. I know I already used this, and I already used this and this. So it leaves me with this, and well, this is sideways. And I could reuse them too, right? Like it's not the end of the world to reuse them. So I think what I might do is right off the bat, I will cut this up. Kit. There we go. They don't have to be perfect. I can trim them down when the time comes. So let's put these into the Small But Mighty kit. These are the cut files. And I pre-cut them this time. I don't always do this, but I pre-cut them and I used them both. So I had pre-cut the wreath and I used that. It was attached to this. And I also pre-cut. Let me just put these in the Small But Mighty kit. I don't think that this is going to fit. Oh yeah, it will. This will fit. There we go. So I might use those. So I have not cut the Joy cut files yet, so I don't have anything to put in this sleeve. And this is what's left of the cardstock from the Gather add-on. So really, if we're looking at full sheets, I didn't do bad. I had the pattern paper add-on, the main kit, and the cardstock add-on, and this is all I have left for full sheets. I think this kit is pretty close to killed. I am pleased. So this will go in my cardstock stash. I might actually hang on to this for the Joy kit because it's a beautiful off-white cardstock and this one, because it has some dots on it, I might put this in. Here's where I'll put it. I'll put it in with my non-kit cardstock because it's not part of the Joy kit. These two can go into my stash. This can go into my stash. I think I'm going to unkit this kit. This will be the first one I do that with. So second tier is where all of my uncut cardstock goes, and I do keep these couple of stiff things in there all the time because it holds up the paper, keeps it from flopping forward. Now the third tier from the bottom is all of my scraps. So these are cut papers. Let's see what we've got. Wow, so I cut 2 of these because I wasn't sure how much I'd need, and this is a picket fence that I cut with a border punch for one of my layouts. We have quite a few scraps from this. We have this one, which I love. I think these little bits, although I do really like them. I think I might keep these little bits too, but not the tiniest ones. So we'll get rid of all the, like we'll just recycle all of these, including that. This can go in my scraps. That can go in my scraps. I'll show you how I sort my scraps as well, since we've got plenty to sort today. Last time I kept my kit intact to use again, but I think this time, like I said, I don't think I will. I have a full sheet of this, and I don't feel like I need to keep this much of a scrap as well. And so we'll recycle all of these ones. And I'm mindful that when things go into my scraps, because of the way that I store them, I don't want to have any jaggedy edges because they catch on each other. So we'll cut that down and I'll keep this. I do like that it's blue, but I also really like the pumpkins. I might store this with orange for the pumpkins. I like this. And here's a big chunk of this. I'll keep this, but I'll just cut this piece off, and I'll actually also cut that piece off. we'll recycle all of this. Oh, here's another intact piece. Note this must be cut down, so this is a scrap as well. It's cut down a little bit. This can be a scrap, and this can be a scrap as well. So I'm going to place these in my recycle bin. Now I'll show you how I store my scraps. So see that cabinet right there? That is where I store my scraps. And pardon me because I'm wearing sweatpants because it's super early in the morning, but I'm gonna mosey on over there. My scraps are all sorted by color. We've got some beige and browns and creams. We have some blues. We have some greens. And some oranges. I keep my scraps in these large pouches. This would be a great use for MercyTiara kit bags, by the way, because they're even sturdier than these. And if you subscribe, you'll have a whole bunch of them. So what I do is I keep something stiff in them just to keep their shape even when they're almost empty, although mine are never almost empty. So I have all of these bags of scraps, and then I have all of these scraps. So let's sort. I would say that this is green, this is blue, this is creams and browns, green. And what I do here is I'm actually sorting based on how I think I'm most likely to use the paper, which usually means the paper that I like the most. But sometimes I might really like something, but I'm not likely to use it, in which case I'd sort it by the other side. So these are all double-sided. So I could put this in my multicolor scrap bag, which I didn't bring over, but I think I'm more likely to use this. And also, if I'm pulling out and trying to get this color, I'm gonna see this, and these are similar colors, so it's okay for this to go in my green bag. That's my rationale for this. Now, my first impulse was to put this in with green, but someday, if I ever think, don't I have that vivid piece of, like, this is a memorable paper. I am likely to remember this and think, where would I have put that? I'm going to put this in yellow because I'm more likely to maybe go looking specifically for this. And I don't necessarily need another green. Like, this isn't going to increase the quality of my green scraps by having this there. But this is something that, like I said, if I'm looking for this, I'm probably going to go to the yellow. So we'll put this in a category, in a pile for yellow. I'm kind of running out of room here, but you'll get a sense of how I do it. So I need to look at this side and this side and pick, and I would pick green for this. I do really like this, but I think green, I love that. So this is another one of those scenarios similar to the sunflower paper, where this is more memorable, and I would go looking in orange for pumpkin paper. So I'm going to put this, I actually keep my yellows and oranges together, so I'll put those there. This is a multicolor, and I do like this print more than this print, but I'm still going to put it with orange because although there's browns and yellows in here too, I think that the dominant color here is orange, and so I'm going to, and also that's the color on the back. This is a rusty color. What would I say this is? Is this rusty red or is it brown? I'm not sure, but I might say that this is pink and red. Maybe I need to get my red scraps out. Yeah, I think, I don't know, would I call this orange or brown or red? I don't really know. This is pink, but it's not typical pink, so I don't really want to put this with pink. I'm either going to put this with reds or with browns. I can't decide, so I'm going to put it up here for now. This one has blues in it, and also this kind of golden-y color. We know that we want to put this with greens. Wherever that goes, that goes. So there's a whole bunch of scraps here. The back side is yellow and there's lots of goldens, and sure, there's also lots of orange, but I think I would put this in yellow if I had to choose, but yellow and orange are the same category for me, so I don't have to choose. I'm going to put this in blue. And here's more of this paper that defies categorization. And then we have more green. So that leaves us with just this and this. And, you know, I think I'm going to put it in blue, even though if I'm looking for something fall-like, I'm probably going to be looking in oranges. So I'm going to put it there. I'm more likely to discover it there, to rediscover it there. And let's think along the same pattern, along the same thought pattern for this as well. So if I needed to rediscover this, I would probably be looking in browns, right? For acorns, browns. I think I would pull out browns if I'm looking to do some fall scrapping from my stash. See, you know what? This is orange. When I look on my screen, it looks orange. I'm putting it with orange. This is my collection of browns and creams. This is almost a full sheet, but not quite. And usually I just keep patterned papers in here, not cardstock, but oftentimes I'll reach in here for journaling strips. And so having a big piece like this, or something to type on or make a label out of. So having a big piece of off-white paper in here is actually really handy. So then these are my blue scraps. We'll put these in there. These are my green scraps. Lots of additions to green here. Then we have yellow and orange, which at some point I might need to separate, but so far it's been many years of me storing it this way and it seems to fit. And for discoverability, I don't mind separating my papers. Like I don't necessarily want all of this to be in one spot. As I'm searching through my scraps, I don't always do a thorough job of looking at every single piece. So if I have the same pattern in a couple of different places, it actually helps me be more likely to discover it when I need it. So there, my scraps are now sorted. And put these all away. I do use these to help hold them up upright. I have these folders. Working our way up. This will be empty because I have nothing I've cut into yet, so I haven't used my kit. Now let's take a look at this fourth tier from the bottom. This is where I keep my stickers and embellishments that don't go in the top. So let's have a look at what those were. We have a partial set of Good Times wood accent stickers from Pink Fresh Studio. I used some, but not all of these. I cut some of them apart, and so we've got plenty of these left. We have plenty of these black alphas. We have plenty of these green alphas from Pink Fresh Studio. There's a few of these, and there's some of these, but not a whole lot. I might make it my mission to use these up in Project Life this month, so I will put this with my Small But Mighty kit, because they are pretty small too, right? So put that in there. So you have to come to a decision about things like this. This is a set of stickers that I have honestly used everything that I like from this sticker set. If I haven't used it yet, chances are I'm not going to use it. Now these are super cute, and so I might use these. These are super cute and I love these. And I guess I'm just wondering whether it would be a good idea for me to just move over anything and kind of get this down to one sheet instead of two. I love fall most of all. That fall feeling. Always stay humble and kind. I could cover that up. Family. It's just not a phrase I'm used to. I would normally use. We have sweater weather. This fox is cute and relevant because of our logo. Maybe we'll keep the fox. Change is a beautiful thing. I like this warm wishes one, actually. Let's stick warm wishes right here. There. Now, I feel comfortable with not keeping these. So, I mean, I could put them in a giveaway pile, but I don't love giving away little bits of things like this that are hard to kind of work with. So I'm just going to toss them. And here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about that video that I reacted to, and sometimes the cost of keeping something is greater than the cost of throwing it away, because what am I going to do with those? Where are they going to sit while I wait to see who wants them? I'm just going to toss them. And I've gotten my money's worth because I used this sticker set. I used a lot of it. I used, well, half of it. And these products are made to appeal to the masses. So expecting yourself to use every single sticker on a sticker sheet is not reasonable. And are you really going to love the pages that you make if they include items that you just forced yourself to use because you didn't want to waste them? And what exactly is a waste anyways? Like, is it a waste if it's in your book and you still don't like it? Or is it less of a waste if it's in the garbage? I don't know. These are questions we need to ask ourselves. And I don't have all the answers. And sometimes my answers are different from time to time. But I think that we need to give ourselves permission to hone down our stashes, because although some people love having a huge stash, and if it works for you, that's great. But one thing that I find is when I have too many options, it immobilizes me. And so having a sheet like this, these are fall themed items. It's one sheet. If I ever decide, hey, I want to scrapbook fall again, I've got this. Same with these. These are unusual, quirky little embellishments. And so I don't like giving up quirky little embellishments because the scrapbook world is so full of things that have the same vibe to them that I just want to hang on to these. So these and these will find a good place in my stash and are more likely to be appreciated and used than if I just kept them because they were left over. I mean, I use these. These are so versatile. This is a no-brainer. Keep, definitely. And letters, also no-brainer. I will use these. There's no need to even question it. Something like black foam letter stickers, as long as we're not down to only consonants, I can definitely use these and will definitely use these. And then these green letter stickers, they're just the perfect size. I love them, and I consider green to be a neutral, so I will use these for sure, and not just on fall themed layouts, but on Christmas, on spring, every time I will use these. So I love those. Oh, I had my scraps out and I didn't put these in it. But you know what? This is not the nicest brown in the world. I'm just going to toss them. I have tons of generic browns like that in my stash. I don't need to hang on to that. So I'm going to take a look at these and assess whether I think I'm likely to use these or not. If there was only one or two, I might put it on a piece of plastic or something and keep it. But I see plenty of these that I really like. All these little critters are super, super cute. There's a couple of foxes that I really like. I love this one. And I think I love enough of them to keep the 12 by 12 sheet. And if I'm keeping the 12 by 12 sheet, I might as well keep, like, it takes up the same amount of space. There's no point in taking off the ones that I don't like because it takes up the same amount of space. So we've got that. Then I do have paper that I sort. Hello everyone, this is where I keep my paper. This is all of my collection packs, as well as my color sorted paper right here. So in this section here, from here to here, I have all color sorted paper, and I have these little tabs down here that I'm not sure if you can see or not. Let's put this under orange. Oh yes, I do have orange. So I'll put this here under orange, and then one cupboard over is where my cardstock is. So this is also sorted by rainbow order. So we've got reds, orange, yellows, greens, blues. Let's stop here at the blues and insert this one. And there we go, that's done. So the last part of my kit caddy that I have to sort out is the top part. So for this, normally I would have my confetti leftovers in this, and what I do is I put them back in the bag, and then I store them over in a little section, in a little drawer on my right hand side. However, I used them all up this month, so no leftovers for sequins, so I'll just toss that, and this bowl is available for my next one. Doilies are a fabulous embellishment, so I think I might actually keep this on my desk to use, because in the holidays we're going to use doilies. These hearts can go in, where's my heart? My heartwood veneer is right here. So yeah, I can put these right here. I didn't do my own challenge this month, so boo to that. I'll try to do it this month. I don't need these little bits. I'll just toss them. And we have a set of ephemera here. Because these and these work so well together, they're from the same collection, I think I'm going to store them together. There we go. When I first use it, I'll have to tear the bag to get that off, but that's okay. So I'll store these together. Now, normally in my Out with the Old, In with the New videos, I would show you me putting these in my Razcog and putting these where they go. I'm currently changing up how I store some of these embellishments. So until I work that out, I'm just collecting all of these, and I'll just put them aside, and sometime over the holidays I'll decide how that's gonna go, and future Out with the Old, In with the New videos will show you me sorting these into where they belong, but for now they're just gonna go in a pile. This is the best part, is where I get to set up my kit caddy with the current kit. It's always so exciting to put new product all set up and get it all ready to go. Let's just have like a moment of appreciation here. Ay, 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 it's so pretty. That's not even all of them, but that's some of them. We have uncut patterned paper, and we have, this is a bit of a mess because everything was kind of taken apart for photographs. So these 12 by 12 stickers go with my uncut paper. Even when they're used, they go with my uncut paper. Then we have all the paper from the main kit, as well as the 2 pieces of cardstock that come in the main kit this month. So all of this uncut paper can go into, this is just one of the bags from our kits that I cut the Ziploc off of, and it's the perfect size for holding your paper all together, and it's nice and heavy duty. So I don't have cut files. I will cut them though. I like the idea of cutting them all out ahead of time. I will put these in here. So these 2 things go, and I like to keep this one behind because it has this stiff piece of plastic here, and also the chipboard is stiff to make it less flopsy. So we will put these, again, I still have my non-kit cardstock right here, and then my Small But Mighty kit here, and so my uncut paper and cut files goes in the same tier as that. My scraps will go here, so this will be empty, and then my embellishments will go here. I'm keeping my sequins, and I also put my little paper clips in here as well. I'm using a white dish this month because I think it just looks very pretty with those, with that confetti mix. This I just keep over on my desk. I don't want it in the cart because I don't want it to fall out. This is a Paige Evans cross-stitch embroidery kit, and mine is already opened because my friend Stephanie was playing with it and made me a few things. So I will put this in the top, put it right here in the top of my kit caddy. This is packaging. This is also packaging, but I do hang on to this because, as I said, if I have leftovers, I'll pour them into this. So this will also go in the top of my kit caddy. These little enamel dots, again, these are too big to put in that tier, so I'll put these right here as well. Oh, they fit nicely right there. Maybe like that. We have 3 sets of thickers that I can repackage. I'll do that at the end. We have 4 of these frames, they stand alone, so I don't really feel like I need to keep this. So I'll just keep these separate, and I will put them also in the kit caddy. They fit nicely right there. I'll also put my 2 gold doilies in there as well. Doilies fit nicely there. This is going to be, instead of a small but mighty kit, I will be using this paper pad for getting me through the holidays, and then the small but mighty kits will start again in January. I have 3 sets of die cuts here. These beauties come in the main kit. These are Vicky Bouton's goodie bag, and I suspect this is too long, so I'll just cut this down. Cut it right here. Those are going to be so great for tucking into layers. I'm going to have so much fun layering this month. Scott must have put these in these bags just to keep them together for me after he photographed them. So I think we can reuse those bags. I don't like to be wasteful. I'll cut this down. Sugar Plum Wishes, 40 embellishments. And the reason I put them in these baggies instead of in the packages that they come in is that the packages they come in, first of all, they're obnoxiously crinkly, and they also are really hard to get in and out. And that plastic, it rips really easily, especially at the seams, whereas this is nice and solid and loose. I can even kind of sometimes get a sense of what's in there without even opening the bag, so it's very handy. And then this set of die cuts come in the embellishment add-on, and they are to die for. All those beautiful floral embellishments. I put all of the die cut packs right here with the stitching kit in the back. I put my doilies and frames here and enamel dots. My empty packaging for the confetti mix is right there. My sets of stickers, once I repackage them, will go in here. So let's work on that next. I have these Owl Pack polyethylene bags. Going to need 3 of them. I've been repackaging my thickers for many years. If you follow me, you know that. We have set a trend because I know many of you repackage yours as well. These are the Vicky Bouton ones. And so the way that I repackage it is I always take the little header piece and I run some ATG. Sometimes I run 2. They haven't been sticking all that well lately, so I'm going to run 2 this time. And then you just take it so that the title faces out. Find the top and slip it inside of the sleeve without it touching the plastic quite yet. Then once it's straight, you press it down and press it down, and it'll pop off over time, but it won't fall entirely off. Like every time I use it, I just burnish it down again. I've been keeping my thickers like this for years, and yes, this tends to pop up, but it doesn't come all the way off, and it hasn't been a huge problem for me. So I like storing it that way. And the thickers just slide in and out so easily when you package them like this that it's way, way, way better than trying to fiddle with these tight packages. If you really, really didn't want this to pop off, I bet that if you used score tape instead, it would hold forever. I kind of like the idea of these bags being reusable because the adhesive pops off so easily. That's not laying 100% flat, but I don't really mind. So here we have our 3 sets of embellishment that are larger. We will stick these right in there. And now my cart is all set and ready to go. The only other thing is, where will we put this? So we can put this right in there, and then we can put these stencils. I'm just keeping the backings with them to keep them kind of more substantial. We can put them right there so that I don't forget about them. Paige Evans is sticking up there to remind me that there's some embroidery crafts to use there. Now, I also have this little dish of mixed media supplies. So I can put my brush there. I can put my tool right there. I don't really need these. I just had them out for demonstration purposes. So there, now my kit caddy is all set with smaller embellishments and mixed media supplies in the top. We have our larger sticker sets there. Scraps, we don't have any yet. Uncut paper, cut files, small but mighty kits, and then non-kit cardstock that I think will coordinate with this kit is all in the bottom. So the only problem with it is that because these things are tall, it no longer fits under my desk for this month only, but I'm gonna actually keep it like this for now and see how it works just not being under my desk. I'll just roll it over here when I'm not using it. Maybe I'll put it like that. And we'll see how that works. And if I don't like it, I can always move these taller things down to here. That's where I usually put stuff that's that size, is in here. And I could take these tools out and put them someplace on my desk, for example. So, but for now, I like the way it looks like this, so I'm just gonna leave it. And I'm not really tight on space at this moment, so I'll just leave it like that. So we'll see how this goes, and I'll let you know next month whether I ended up leaving everything tall or if I ended up moving it so that it would fit under my desk. In the meantime, take care and have a really great scrappy week.